Welcome to the English pre-briefing of my press conference here in Linz in Upper Austria about NATO membership, NATO enlargement, Slava-Ukraine. Of course, this week is very devoted, the week where the counter-offensive starts. It's very much devoted to the success and victory, liberation and integration of Ukraine. But also Austria should obviously be in NATO, also Ireland, Malta and Kosovo and Bosnia. Of course, I will explain all these issues here today. It will be in German language, that's why I make a pre-briefing. I call for the European Union to join NATO, for Ireland, Malta, Austria, Cyprus. Obviously now, after hopefully the change of regime in Turkey, it's time for Cyprus also to be united as a federal state in NATO and the EU and the Euro, and the same logic applies also to all other countries. So NATO membership is the key to security. Everybody, I think, who has open eyes to see and understands that without NATO and America, Ukraine would have been lost, and obviously we are defenseless without America because of the massive underinvestment and disarming of the last 30 years. And of course, Russia has exploited our weaknesses, and thanks America for saving us. Now we need also to develop European defense inside NATO and European Union as the European pillar of NATO of the West to be stronger. And Austrian side standing, this kind of neutrality must end, also for Switzerland, by the way. But most important, my campaign is for the EU members, because we are a political union. We go to the next step to political unification as the EU membership of NATO. And that's what I'm promoting, quite obviously, with my pins here. And that's also what I will be calling here in Linz. I'm not doing a full-scale federal tour now for all the federal states. Just now this week I'm very much focused on Kosovo, because next week is the foundation of Austrian Kosovo Society, on Ukraine. This is of course my heart very much with the people at the frontline states, where the rich and lazy Austrians are not supporting them. We could also send tanks. The Ukrainians need tanks. We have 50 of them. Why don't we send them? We send them to repair to Germany, but don't let them go to Ukraine. Why? They would be needed immediately, and we have them immediately. And we can, for our long-term training purposes, because we will be not involved in any wars after the defeat of Russia. And by the way, Russia will be defeated now. And then we have obviously this opportunity to work alongside the Ukrainians with in the long-term efforts to defend ourselves, to train, because Austria needs it mainly for training purposes. We can buy super new tanks, a few of them, because we need to train the soldiers, our officers. Obviously, we need some tanks as part of NATO as well. But once Russia is now defeated, we all need less defense efforts, because there will be a chaos in Russia after the defeat. I advocate for ex-Russia. I will explain that now also to the Austrian audience. I will explain all my efforts in Washington and New York with the Free Nations Forum. This is, of course, for Austrian thinking far away, because here we are really in the Alpine disinformation area, and Russia is dominating the information space. But I will change that, and we are going to change that. Also, the Russian integrity will not survive the defeat now, and that's one of the reasons why so many hesitations to send more weapons to Ukraine. It's exactly because of that, because the people like Chuck Sullivan, the United States Security Advisor, they want to keep Russia intact, the same as George Bush, the father, wanted to keep the Soviet Union intact, because they don't like change. They are status quo oriented and risk averse people, and obviously they are not on any kind of freedom agenda, as I am very much so, as I have seen in my support for the end of Yugoslavia, for the end of the Soviet Union, for the Arab Spring, and also now for the Russian Spring to come. And it will come. And that I want to prepare here with my activities, and that is also part of the broader concept, obviously, of NATO membership. Then we have this, ultimately we will be 46 members, also the more peripheral nations of the West, and who, after the defeat of Russia, ultimately will seek their security as well in Europe, like Israel and Azerbaijan. That will be the furthest. enlarged state and presence of NATO at the moment. But I was sitting now at conferences where also the people from Ingria and from other parts of ex-Russia want to join NATO and the EU, and you can see that the Hudson Institute link and at the New York Institute for Ukraine link as well, which I have shared at my Twitter feed, and they want to join, and that is of course a longer term proposition, and there is of course a lot of political instability still on this way. And I will just, ich bin schon fertig, ja? And just to say hello, thanks a lot for that, and the rest of the video will be in German. Thanks a lot, all the best. Bye, and watch it also in German language, and thanks a lot for watching. Bye.